Om Sarve Bhavantu Sukhina Sarve Santu Niramaya Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu Ma Kashrid Dukhamapnuyat. Om Shantihi Shantihi Shantihi. Let all be happy, let all be healthy, let all attain goodness, let none get misery. Om, peace, peace, peace. Dear friends, at the outset, I would like to thank the organizers for giving me this opportunity of sharing my thoughts with you. And I would also like to congratulate the organizers for organizing this web conference. And I take this opportunity of congratulating all the anesthesiologists all over the world who are the real corona warriors, removing the pain of the people, and who are facing the brunt of this corona virus. Boldly, they are facing the problems and they are helping the humanity to come out of this great tragedy that has come over the whole of humanity. So I am really appreciative of the wonderful work that is being done by the anesthesiologists all over the world. The topic that has been given is very relevant: spirituality and inner peace, need of the current era. Current era, as you know, the COVID-19 has brought about a great transformation in the way we think, in the way we behave, and is not limited to only one country, it is almost global. So under this particular situation, when the COVID-19 has still not gone, naturally the stress level has gone up. Even otherwise also, the modern man is in search of peace. Even otherwise also, the modern man is having tension, mental tension. But now one more very important dimension has been added to that, and that is this COVID-19. Of course, the stress that is being faced by the people all over the world is quite understandable because of the COVID-19. And the stress, the amount of stress that is being faced by all the corona warriors, and especially the anesthesiologists who have to remain in the ICU for a long time and bear the brunt of this whole exposure, and thereby having more possibility of getting this COVID-19, I can understand. But then there are always remedies. We have maladies, we have remedies also. First important thing is that the worry and the fear, it is these two things that remove our immunity. If we want to increase our immunity, then we have to remove this fear and worry. According to psychologists, 90% of our worries are imaginary. So, in order to remove a worry, what we should do, we should apply RET. RET is the rational emotive theory that was proposed by Ellis Albert. And the method is, if you are facing any problem, if you are facing any worry, if you are facing any fear, just ask this question: is it really so? then 90% of the time you will find out it is not really so. But you have to go for critical thinking. At the first end, they will say, the mind will say, yes, it is really so. But you go critically. Is it really so? Is it really so? Is it to that extent? Then 90% of the time you will find it is not that. And the rest 10% also, the magnitude is not that large as you had imagined. So Ralph Waldo Trine gives a beautiful story in the book. Uh, the book name is In Tune with the Infinite, where the goddess of plague was going to Baghdad. And somebody asked, where are you going? And she said, I'm going to Baghdad. Why? For killing 5,000 people. And when she was returning, then that person said, you told you are going to kill 5,000 people, but I learned 50,000 people have died. The goddess of plague said, yes, I killed only 5,000. The rest 45,000 died out of fear of plague, not due to plague. So let us not die out of the fear of COVID-19. COVID-19 itself is enough. Maybe it is killing many, but let us not add one more dimension to it. That is fear. So let us not be afraid. So let us face the situation boldly. When Swami Vivekananda was traveling all over the country before going to America to participate in the World's Parliamentary Religions in Chicago, he came to Benares, and after having darshan of Durga Devi temple, he was coming out of the temple when a few monkeys, very ferocious looking monkeys, very large sized monkeys, black faces, they started chasing Swamiji. And Swamiji became afraid and he was running. And these monkeys were running after Swamiji. Now, on one side there was a pond, another side was a big wall. So Swamiji had no alternative, just going, running. Now he got exhausted. What to do? Then suddenly he heard an old monk shouting at him, "Hey, Dorobat, Bandar ka samna karo. Don't be afraid. Face the brutes." As soon as he heard this, he just stopped and looked back. And he had a stick. He just moved the stick. And as soon as he showed that stick to the monkeys and faced the monkeys squarely, all the monkeys fled. Afterwards, during his lecture in America, he said, that day I learned one of the greatest lessons of my life. And what is that? Face the brutes, face the monkeys, face the animals, face the difficulties of life. If you are afraid, the difficulties will chase you like monkeys. But if you become bold and face the challenge squarely, the difficulties will run away. So that was a big lesson that Swami Vivekananda learnt, and we can all make use of that. Now today, the great demon of COVID-19 is chasing us. If we are afraid, we will be undone. But if we face the brute, okay, we will face the brute, we will take all precautions that are necessary, and we will face the problem squarely with mental strength, with courage, with passions. I'm sure we will be able to conquer the enemy, conquer the demon called COVID-19. Now, for getting inner peace, the modern psychologists are telling, the scientists are telling, that IQ and EQ are not enough. If we want long-term happiness and long-term peace, then we should have SQ. What is SQ? Dana Zohar, she is a professor in Oxford University. She has written a book. The name of the book is SQ, Spiritual Intelligence, the Ultimate Intelligence, where she says neurologically, physiologically, biologically, psychologically, from every point of view, there is a concluding evidence. There is something called SQ, which is the basis of both IQ and EQ. Now, this is a special prerogative of a human being. IQ is available with all the species, including the computers. EQ is available with only a few species, but SQ is available only with the human species. And what is that SQ? What is that IQ? What is EQ? IQ will tell you how to play the game of life, intelligence quotient. Then what is EQ? Daniel Goleman made a research in 1991 and said EQ and discovered EQ, emotional intelligence, where he said EQ is more important than IQ. IQ will tell you how to play the game of life. EQ will tell you how to play the game of life under changed circumstances with changed strategies. And what is SQ? Spiritual intelligence. SQ will tell you why to play the game of life. What is the purpose of life? What is the ultimate aim of life? What do we want to achieve? So that before death, so that we don't have any regret at the time of death. That is SQ. And when we get that SQ, we get long-term happiness and peace. Dana Zohar gives a beautiful example. By the side of the Mexican coast, there was a management consultant sitting, and at a distance was a fisherman who was sleeping at that time. And it was afternoon. So that management consultant said, "Hey, what are you doing? Why are you sleeping? It is afternoon. Why don't you fish?" He said, "You sir, you know what happened? In the morning, I got a very big catch, a very big fish. I sold it and I got enough money, and my quota is over for earning money. So I am relaxing." What, is there any quota system here? If you go for fishing, you will get more money. But what will I do with excess money? Whatever I need for today is over. Why? You must deposit. Deposit? He never heard the word deposit. Yes. Open a bank account and deposit money. Then go on depositing. And we have got enough money, purchase another boat. So when you have got two boats, you will have more fishes and more money. But what to do with that money? Again, purchase another boat. Go on purchasing the boat. Then you will become CEO of a multinational company. Then you move your headquarters from Mexico to New York, and then open branches all over the world, and you have a nice business. Then when you go all over the world, naturally there will be blood pressure, there will be bypass surgery. And when there are 3 bypass surgeries and the doctor says no more, then you retire. You sell the companies, come to me. I am an investment expert from Harvard. I will tell you how to invest the money, where to invest the money. And when you invest like that, every month you will get fixed income, and you will be able to sleep nicely without any tranquilizers. Sir, I was sleeping without any tranquilizer only. Dana Zohar says, this fisherman has got low IQ, doesn't know how to make money. This management consultant has got high IQ, he knows how to make money. But this fisherman has got more SQ, he knows the purpose of life is to have happiness and peace. But this management consultant lacks in SQ. Now, that does not mean that we should not go for earning money. That does not mean that we should not go for actions. But what is implied here is that the purpose should not be forgotten. The purpose of earning more money is happiness and peace. If you don't have happiness and peace, what is the use? What is the fun of getting that happiness, getting that money? So this SQ is very important. Now the $1 million question is how to develop SQ. So here Swami Vivekananda has given in his book on Raj Yoga the gist of the whole of Vedanta, which gives us a clue as to how to develop this spiritual intelligence, where he says each soul is potentially divine. The goal of human life is to manifest this divinity within by controlling nature, external and internal. Do this either by work or worship or psychic control or philosophy, by one or more or all of these, and be free. This is the whole of religion. Doctrines, dogmas, rituals, temples, churches, mosques are but secondary details. So this is the key. How to develop spiritual intelligence, giving rise to happiness and peace on a long-term basis. These are the 4 yogas that we have to practice in our daily life that will give you eternal happiness and peace. Also, happiness and peace in daily life. What are these 4 yogas? Raj Yoga, Bhakti Yoga, Gyan Yoga, and Karma Yoga. Raj Yoga is based on Patanjali's Yoga Sutras, 8 steps: Yama, Niyama, Asana, Pranayam, Pratyahar, Dharana, Dhyan, and Samadhi. So, Yama is 5: Satya, Asteya, Brahmacharya, Aparigraha, Ahimsa, and Niyama also 5: Shauch, Santosh, Tap, Swadhyay, Ishra Pranidham. Yam, Niyam, Asan, Pranayam, Pratyahar, Dharana, Dhyan, Samadhi. But for the modern man, I like to summarize it trying to follow the principles of ethics and morality and meditation. This meditation will lead gradually to the ultimate state where we have infinite happiness and peace. This meditation is Raj Yoga. And what is Gyan Yoga? Gyan Yoga is positive thinking. Who am I? Am I a limited being? No. I have got that infinite soul within me, having infinite power. Chidananda Rupa Shivoham Shivoham. I am the birthless, deathless, ever pure, ever blissful Atman. This is the message that was given by Swami Vivekananda in the Parliament of World's Religion in Chicago, where he said, Shunvantu Vishve Amritasya Putrah Aye Dhamani Divyani Tastuhu Vedahametam Purusham Mahantam Aditya Varnam Tamasa Parastat Tameva Viditvati Mritameti Nanya Pantha Viditaya Naya. I have found the ancient one who is beyond all miseries. By knowing him alone, you shall be free from all miseries. And then he said, after quoting this sloka from the Shweta Upanishad, Swami Vivekananda told, dear sisters and brothers of America, let me call you by this sweet name, Amritasya Putra, ye the children of immortal bliss, holy and perfect beings. Even if it is under sinners, it is a sin to call a man so. It is turning liable on human nature. Come up, O lions, and shake off the delusion that you are sheep. Your souls immortal, spirits free, blessed and eternal. You are not matter, you are not bodies. Matter is a servant, not ye the servant of matter. So this positive thinking, the bombs of this positive thinking, these are called the thought bombs. This will help us to come out of this, our fear, imaginary fear, and face the problems boldly. That is Gyan Yoga. And then Bhakti Yoga is prayer. Whenever we feel that we are not able to perform a particular thing which is beyond our capacity, or when we are having having an imaginary fear, we can always resort to prayer. Just like as I resorted to a beautiful prayer, this prayer, if it is done every day, will bring us positive vibes. Sarve bhavantu sukhina, sarve santu niramaya, sarve bhadrani pashyantu, ma kasyat dukha bhag bhavet. Because Swami Vivekananda says, at long last you will understand, not now. At long last you will understand the best way to become happy is to see that others are happy, and the best way to get peace of mind is to pray for others' peace of mind. So let us pray for others' peace of mind. And whenever we're in distress, let us pray to the Almighty for giving us the strength to overcome that crisis. This will give us the peace. And fourth, Karma Yoga, unselfish service. Unselfishness is the test of religion, Swami Vivekananda says. And he wrote a beautiful letter to Maharaja of Mysore. My dear prince, this life is short. The vanities of this world are transient. In this short life, they alone live who live for others. The rest are more dead than alive. And I'm very happy that you, all the anesthesiologists, are doing wonderful unselfish service. The more you service you will do, the more strength will come to you automatically. Only thing, it should be unselfish service. There should not be any selfishness involved. Of course, if you are getting salary, that's okay. But even in there also, when you are giving honorary service, still better. If not, you have to take some salary for your uh, for maintaining your family. Doesn't matter. But that love and unselfishness, if it is put into the service that you are doing, if you put that love, if you that spirit of unselfishness, if it is there in that service, you will find, along with other things, peace coming to you. So the best way to get peace of mind is meditation, prayer, unselfish service. The spirit of service should be there, and Of course, the positive thinking. With these four methods, Raj Yoga meditation, Bhakti Yoga prayer, Gyan Yoga positive thinking, and Bhakti Yoga prayer, and Karma Yoga unselfish service. If we combine all these four yogas in our daily life we will be getting happiness and peace, and ultimately culminating in infinite happiness and infinite peace. Once again, I thank the organizers for giving me this opportunity of sharing my thoughts, and I pray to the Almighty so that we all get happiness and peace in our everyday life, and we also lead, we are able to get eternal happiness and peace by practicing these four yogas in our daily life. Thank you very much.